The Galactic Council chamber shook with clamor. Councillor Vex slammed his fist onto the dais, his 4 eyes blazing with fury.
Emergency session. The Kresh Dominion's army has been incapacitated by a cognitive weapon, human music. Brain scans from 8 species. Confirm it rewires empathy, triggers hierarchy questioning, refusal to obey. This is not art, it's a weapon.
Councillor Vex, this is absurd. For centuries, music has been humanity's soul, not a weapon.
Tell that to the Kresh generals, whose soldiers are now weeping instead of charging. We will ban this contamination immediately.
The vote was swift. Delegates raised trembling hands, faces etched with dread. The ban passed overwhelmingly.
Earth will comply with the law, but do not mistake compliance for agreement. You are silencing our voice.
The order was dispatched to Earth. Cease all music broadcasts. The Council exhaled, believing the threat contained.
They have no idea what they've just done. Music isn't a weapon, it's a bridge.
But the order had not yet reached everyone. In a small room on Earth, a radio operator was about to make her grandmother's music heard across the stars. In Buenos Aires, in a cramped room, cluttered with vintage equipment, Maria Delgado and her friend Leo prepared for a personal ritual.
My grandmother used to say these songs held the soul of 1,000 revolutions. Tonight, they'll reach the stars.
36 hours straight, Maria? You are crazy. But the playlist is cued. Every folk song, every anthem she loved.
An old photograph of her grandmother beside a gramophone sat on the shelf, watching over them.
Abuela always said music was a conversation across time. I am just passing the mic.
All systems go. Transmitters hot, antennas calibrated. The moment you hit play, you are broadcasting to anyone out there with a receiver.
Maria pressed the broadcast key. A warm needle descended on a vinyl disc, and the first chords of an old folk song spilled into the airwaves.
Fly free, Abuela. Your voice is going interstellar.
I wonder who's listening out there. If anyone is, music like this, it's too good to stay quiet.
The signal climbed from the rooftop antenna, slicing through the atmosphere, heading into the black void where it would find ears neither of them could imagine. The signal raced through the void until it struck an old human relay satellite, drifting in geosynchronous orbit. Its dish array pulsed cyan, auto-detecting the frequency, amplifying it 1,000-fold without any human command. On a translucent star map overlaid on the cosmos, 3 empire borders glowed orange-red as the boosted signal washed over them.
Maria, the lunar array just logged us. Some old booster satellite is pushing our signal way past the colonies. It's heading toward the frontier empires.
Then let it go. Abuela's music was always meant for anyone who would listen, even aliens.
In a Kresh barracks, a reptilian soldier paused mid-step. A strange melody seeped through his helmet's receiver. His hand trembled deep in the Valari hegemony. A nameless slave in a cramped pen lifted her head. The music felt like a forgotten promise. In the Marith Imperium, Senator Ale was midway through a speech on tax reform. When the ballad reached his ears, he stopped.
What is this? It's as if the music is speaking directly to my ancestral memories.
The signal continued, unbroken. The music of a dead grandmother was now in the ears of 3 empires, and nothing would be the same. Minutes later, the Galactic Council's monitoring array lit up with alarms. An unauthorized human broadcast flooded the frontier empires.
The ban was explicit. Earth is undermining us. Who dares defy the Council?
A holographic map showed the signal's origin. Buenos Aires. Ambassador Chen received an urgent communication, her face draining of color.
This is a mistake. I'll contact Earth immediately. They'll shut it down.
Every second this contamination spreads. Another soldier hesitates. Cut the source now, or we will do it for you.
Earth's security agencies scrambled to trace the signal. The order was clear: locate the broadcaster and silence them. In the Kresh Dominion, a scarred soldier knelt and placed his energy rifle on the ground in the Valari slave pens. Kira rose to her full height, her wings trembling with a newfound certainty. In the Marith Senate, Senator Ale played the ballad again. Senators murmured, some wiping tears. The broadcast continued, and the council's grip was already loosening, though they didn't know it yet. In a government command center, a holographic screen triangulated the signal. It pointed to a single rooftop in Buenos Aires. The agents dispatched hesitated. The source was a civilian radio hobbyist, not a saboteur.
Leo, listen to this. I am getting feedback on the receiver, not static patterns, like voices trying to talk.
That's impossible. This frequency doesn't bounce back, unless someone out there is actively transmitting back at us.
On her computer monitor, a spectral analysis showed rhythmic waveforms, not natural. They pulsed with emotional cadence, like a reply.
They're responding to Abuela's music. Look at the peaks. They match the song's chorus.
Maria, if the council banned our music as a weapon, and we're receiving alien signals, we need to stop. This could start a war.
Or it could start a conversation. They're not attacking. They're singing back. I won't shut up when someone finally listens.
Outside the radio room window, the distant wail of sirens grew louder. The agents were minutes away. Maria stared at the alien waveforms, a smile breaking through her fear. The music was a bridge, and she was being ordered to burn it. Inside the Creche Dominion's largest garrison, the march of boots had stopped. Hundreds of armored soldiers sat cross-legged on the cold floor. A scarred veteran wept openly. The ballad from Earth played over the intercom, its melody cutting through decades of conditioning.
On your feet. This is sedition. You are soldiers of the Dominion. What is this sound? It claws into my chest. I remember the nest songs.
A soldier lifted his head and said, "No, General, we will not kill for the Dominion anymore." The words hung like a verdict. Threx looked at the loudspeaker, baffled. The music the council wanted to silence was paralyzing his entire legion. One by one, more soldiers placed their rifles on the floor. The clatter became a thunderous rhythm.
I have ordered executions for less, but this melody, I cannot give the command.
The soldiers began to hum along. A rough, reptilian chorus merged with the human voice from across the stars. Threx turned and walked out. The Creche army was no longer an instrument of war. It was sitting down, and no one knew how to make it stand. The same signal that paralyzed the Creche army now seeped into the Volari hegemony's slave pens. A human voice sang of chains breaking.
Do you hear it? That melody, it speaks of standing up. I will not wait for permission.
Kira walked toward the gate. Her wings, scarred from labor, opened slightly as if tasting freedom. One by one, the other slaves rose. They followed her in silence, a slow river of broken bodies finding direction.
You can try to stop us, but the song is already in our hearts. We remember now.
Overseers raised shock prods, but their arms wavered. The music was affecting them too.
The air is different. The colors feel looser. The music is undoing something deep.
The exodus spilled into the capital streets. Citizens stared. The silent march became an unignorable truth.
We are not property. We are people. And we will walk until the galaxy sees us.
The Volari hegemony's foundation cracked with every step. The music had turned slaves into a revolution that no weapon could suppress. In Immarath Imperium's Grand Senate, Senator Ale silenced the hall with a single gesture. He played the human ballad from his ancient console.
This music has undone me. It asks a question I can no longer ignore. Why do we serve an absent emperor?
The hall erupted. Senators who had never questioned the Imperium now argued loudly about authority and freedom. An elderly senator rose, voice cracking. "This council has become a relic. I move we dissolve it and return power to the people." A holographic tally flickered to life. Hands shot up, a cascade of rebellion. The vote for dissolution passed with a staggering majority.
What have we done? But my heart feels lighter than it has in centuries.
Senators cast their staves aside and walked out. The chamber, once the heart of an empire, fell silent.
Inform the emperor that the Mareth Senate has dissolved itself. There is no one left to give him power.
The news spread across the Imperium. The government had collapsed, not by war, but by a song that asked a question. Across 3 empires, the same melody played, and institutions that had stood for millennia crumbled in hours. The galaxy was changing. A heavy knock echoed through the small radio room. Outside, government agents stood with stern faces, their vehicle flashing red and blue.
Don't let them in yet. I am recording this. If they try anything, the whole world will see it.
Let them in. I won't hide what I've done. The music is already out there. They can't arrest a signal.
Prime Minister, 3 empires are collapsing overnight, peacefully. Demanding Maria's head will make Earth a pariah. We must protect her. This is a diplomatic opportunity, not a crime. Extraditing her would be admitting our culture is a weapon. We will not surrender free expression.
Within the hour, Earth officially refused extradition. Maria Delgado had become a 23-year-old symbol of human expression against a galaxy's fear. The Galactic Council chamber erupted as the news of Earth's defiance reached them. Councillor Vex's roar silenced the hall.
They claim free expression, while their music dissolves our governments. Hand over the broadcaster, or we will consider it an act of war.
The empires are choosing peace. Vex, your own scientists called our music a bridge. We will not hand over a young woman for opening a door you wanted locked.
The chamber fell into a stunned silence. For the first time in centuries, the council was not being obeyed, and a single human melody had become a diplomatic crisis. On the holographic star map, the Kresh Dominion's border flickered and vanished. General Threx had embraced his soldiers instead of commanding them.
I have not felt this since I was a hatchling. Peace is not weakness.
In the Volari hegemony, the freed slaves seized the communication towers. Kira's voice echoed, "No more masters."
The signal is ours now. Let the galaxy hear the song of the Unchained.
In the Merith Imperium, the Senate dissolution was ratified. The Emperor fell silent, and the streets erupted in celebration.
We have not conquered fear, but we have chosen hope.
The Galactic Council watched in horror, but in his private chamber, Councillor Vex had obtained a recording of that same broadcast. He placed the earpiece in, and the first chords transported him. His 4 eyes closed.
This is what they banned. It speaks of loss and love and a grandmother's memory. I feel unworthy.
For the first time in centuries, Councillor Vex wept. The music had cracked the hardest armor, the heart of a ruler. The next day, Maria's room flooded with drone lights. The galaxy had met its rogue DJ. On global news, the anchor introduced the young woman who toppled 3 empires with a playlist.
I only wanted to honor my grandmother. Her music was about struggle, love, and hope. I didn't know it could change so much. The council calls it a weapon, but the messages from aliens are all peace. They aren't afraid of us, they're afraid of themselves.
Outside, protesters held signs. Music is freedom. Silence is the real weapon. Earth no longer obeyed the council's decree.
Earth does not criminalize a song. We protect Maria Delgado because she exercises a right we will never surrender.
I never wanted to be a symbol. But if my music can stop a war, how can I shut it off?
But not everyone celebrated. Fringe groups feared the aliens would punish Earth for one girl's hobby.
Abuela, if you could see what your songs are doing, I hope I am making you proud.
Earth stood behind her. But across the void, the council's patience was thinning. The music still played, and the galaxy held its breath. The council reconvened in a sealed session. Vex demanded a sanctions vote.
We must act. Earth's defiance threatens our authority. Cripple their trade until they comply.
But secret messages flickered among delegates. Quiet requests for the forbidden signal. A clerk leaked Maria's playlist. The very audio the council meant to destroy spread among 20 systems. In his chamber, Vex received a secure transmission. His aide whispered, "I have the full set."
My duty demands I erase it, but I must listen one more time.
He played the tracks. A ballad of quiet hope filled the room. His resolve cracked. When the sanction vote came, dozens of hands stayed lowered. The measure failed by abstention. The council fractured. Vex sat silent. Knowing abstaining delegates were humming human melodies, the music had become a quiet rebellion inside the council. The ban was unenforceable, and Vex could no longer lead the charge. On the Kresh home world, General Threx addressed a crowd of former soldiers. He spoke no longer as a commander, but as a brother.
I announce the Kresh army is disbanded. We will be guardians of peace, not instruments of conquest.
In the Volari capital, Kira broadcast a decree that would echo through history.
From this moment, no collar binds another. The Volari hegemony is abolished. All are free.
In the former Marath Imperium, Senator Ale and his colleagues signed the democratic constitution as crowds cheered.
The Marath Imperium is no more. Today we become the Marath Republic, governed by the voices of our people.
On the galactic map, the 3 orange-red borders vanished, replaced by green peace symbols. For the first time in centuries, there was no organized war among the 3 powers. A spontaneous chorus rose across worlds.
Peace. It feels like a song that never ends.
The soft power victory was complete. The galaxy had changed, and Earth's music still played. Unbanned, unstoppable. The Council's ultimatum arrived. Surrender Maria Delgado within 48 hours or face military enforcement.
This defiance ends now. Earth has 48 local hours to present the offender, or we will consider it an act of war.
Ambassador Chen addressed the global parliament, her image broadcast to every screen on Earth.
Earth will not hand over a child for singing her grandmother's songs. If the Council wants war over a melody, they will find us resolute.
Earth's fleet assumed defensive formations, but Chen's priority remained a diplomatic off-ramp.
They're willing to fight a war for me. Am I worth that?
Leo placed a hand on her shoulder. The clock on the screen ticked mercilessly.
If I stop the broadcast, will they stand down? Or have I already started something that can't be stopped?
Her finger moved over the transmitter kill switch, trembling above the glowing button. In that small room, a 23-year-old faced the choice between silencing a song and igniting a war. The galaxy listened.
I will end the broadcast. If it can save lives, silence is a small price.
But her supporters refused to let the music die. Protests erupted worldwide, signs reading, "Let her sing." Across the 3 former empires, alien crowds now marched, not to rebel, but to demand the music continue.
The universe is already listening. You can't unring this bell.
I never wanted to be a weapon. If stopping can prevent war, I have to try.
She pressed the kill switch. The transmitter went silent, but the signal had already been recorded, amplified, and echoed across a dozen networks. On a screen, Maria saw alien children humming her grandmother's ballad. The genie was out. Alien protesters held banners with her grandmother's face. The music had grown beyond any single transmitter. The broadcast had ended, but the song had only begun. Whether the Council would accept this concession, no one knew. In his silent quarters, Vex listened to the last track of Maria's playlist. The ballad spoke of forgiveness.
I banned this. I called it a weapon, but it has unarmed me.
An elderly aide entered, carrying a data slate. He spoke carefully. He said, "Counselor, 5 other delegates have privately admitted they listen. Perhaps it is time to reconsider the ban."
Reconsider? A month ago, I would have executed him for that. Now I merely wonder if he is right.
Quiet rumors spread through the council. Confidential memos cited growing public pressure from the former empires. A group of junior delegates drafted a proposal to reopen debate on the music classification.
If the music promotes peace, what does that make us?
The whispers of reversal grew louder. Even Vex no longer quieted them. For the first time in his long rule, Councillor Vex considered that perhaps the galaxy had been wrong and a human song had been right. A coalition of 12 neutral worlds submitted a petition to the Council. The file contained thousands of scientific documents. The holographic display read, "Empathy centers activate within seconds of exposure. Aggression markers drop by 40%. The chamber fell quiet. Data from 8 species proved the music was not a weapon, but a bridge to empathy.
The evidence is undeniable. This music triggers cooperation, not chaos. You banned a healing art.
Outside, the protests swelled. Aliens and humans marched together under banners reading science, not fear. Vex sat motionless. For the first time, he did not object. A motion passed. An emergency summit would reconsider the music ban. The date was set for one standard week. On the star map, the 3 new republics pulsed green, and the cyan waves of Earth's music still rippled outward.
If the summit fails, we face war. If it succeeds, I admit I was wrong. Either way, the galaxy will never be silent again.
The summit was mankind's last diplomatic chance, and the ban's final judgment. The countdown began. The emergency summit convened. The chamber overflowed with delegates, news drones hovering silently. Counselor Vex rose. Without a word, he placed a small device on the dais. A familiar melody filled the hall. The chamber froze. A Kresh delegate closed his eyes. A Valari wiped her cheek.
This is the song I classified as a weapon. I have listened to it every night since. I was wrong. Its only crime is opening hearts that power had closed.
One by one, delegates stood. I too have listened, said the Marith envoy. And I, said the new Kresh ambassador.
This music was never a weapon. It was a mirror to your own potential for mercy.
Vex called for a vote. The holographic tally materialized. Unanimously, the ban on human music was lifted. The tally flashed green, and the chamber erupted. The melody played on. The galaxy did not fall to humanity. It hummed along. 1 year later, the council session began not with a gavel, but with a melody. Maria's grandmother's voice filled the chamber.
For illuminating the galaxy with your grandmother's light, Earth presents you with the Unity Medal.
Abuela, this medal is for you. Your record player started a revolution of the heart.
That night, a transmission arrived. Alien children singing a lullaby her grandmother had recorded. Their voices wobbled but held pure gratitude.
They have her songs. They honor her. Abuela didn't die. She multiplied.
She still broadcast from her little room. But now her signal was carried by 100 satellites, and no one tried to stop it.
I am still just a girl with a vinyl collection, but now the universe listens in.
Galactic choirs formed across worlds, their repertoires blending human folk songs with native harmonies. Music became a shared language. Maria sat on her rooftop at dawn, the satellite passing overhead. Its cyan waves were now beacons of unity, not rebellion. The galaxy hadn't fallen. It had learned to hum. And somewhere, an old woman's voice sang into eternity. That evening, a private message arrived on Maria's console. The sender ID was encrypted. The priority marked urgent. It read, Maria Delgado, I was the first counselor to request your grandmother's playlist. I needed to understand what I feared. Your music did not break me. It rebuilt me. Thank you for opening a door I had nailed shut. Vex. Maria read it twice. Then she wept, not for herself, but for the old enemy who had finally heard a human heartbeat.
Even the one who banned it found something human in the sound. Abuela, your music just disarmed a counselor.
She typed a reply on the old keyboard, the oscilloscope beside it dancing with her words.
Music isn't a gift if it's kept locked away. I am glad you opened the door, Vex. Keep listening.
In his dim chamber, Vex received the reply. The nebula's light outside the window seemed warmer than usual.
The weapon was always my own fear. The antidote was a grandmother's song.
The loop closed. The music had been a weapon only to those who wielded silence. It was, and always had been, a gift. Dawn broke over Buenos Aires. Maria sat on her rooftop, a small speaker in her lap. From the speaker, an alien children's choir sang her grandmother's lullaby, their voices trembling with innocent gratitude.
Her voice is in their mouths now, across the stars, in 1,000 different keys.
She looked up. The old relay satellite arced across the fading stars, its cyan dish pulsing gently. The satellite that once carried a band signal now beamed a galaxy of harmonies. Over the new republics, sunrises painted cities that had never known peace before.
Abuela, we did it. Not a weapon, just a song.
The satellite continued its orbit, a silent lighthouse in the dark. Nothing could silence it now.
If you can hear me, know that your music built a bridge where empires burned theirs.
The galaxy didn't fall. It learned to hum, and somewhere, a grandmother's voice became the first note of a new age. Across the Kresh Republic, public squares resonated with human folk songs. Children danced beneath floating holographic notes. In the Volari capital, former slaves held a concert of gratitude, their translucent wings shimmering with joyous light. The Marath Parliament opened its inaugural session with a grandmother's ballad. No one lifted a weapon. On the star map, the 3 orange borders had transformed into vibrant green, with music note sigils glowing softly, replacing weapons. The protest sigils faded. In their place, a single word pulsed in 100 languages: unity. The satellite drifted on, its cyan waves a constant, gentle pulse, a heartbeat for the galaxy's newborn peace. It asked nothing, demanded nothing, only gave. And on a rooftop in Buenos Aires, Maria watched it pass, knowing her grandmother's voice lived in that light. The galaxy did not fall to humanity. It hummed along,